Game 7 unsung heroes from the last 5 epics. There's an excellent chance that when the Houston Astaros and Los Angeles Dodgers meet a final time in Game 7 of the World Series on Wednesday night, the hero will be a marquee name such as George Springer, Jose Altuve, Corey Seager or Cody Bellinger. Yet if Game 7s have taught us anything, it's that it takes a veritable baseball village to win them. For every Edgar Renteria hoisted on the shoulders of his teammates after a walk-off, championship-winning hit, dozens of others toiled in the background to make that moment happen. Tonight's supporting heroes may be forgotten in time. Before that happens, however, here's a look back at the unsung stars of the last 5 World Series Game 7s. So, perhaps you've had enough of Ross. His dancing with the stars, his well-chronicled reputation as the game's ultimate grit and glue guy, his seemingly inescapable presence on TV. Sure, maybe all the attention seems out of proportion for a backup catcher who hit .229 over 10 seasons. But here's something David Ross can tell his grandkids. He hit a home run off Andrew Miller in Game 7 of the World Series. Yes, the man who spent the waning years of his career mostly as John Lester's consigliere, who entered Game 7 the same time the yips-prone lefty came on in relief, went yard off a guy enjoying perhaps the most legendary relief run in postseason history. More coverage, it's easy to forget now, and who knows what happens if Ross doesn't homer. But if he doesn't, the Cubs take just a 5-3 lead into the late innings, and maybe the Indians' 3-run 8th-inning rally, capped by Rajai Davis's 2-run homer, wins them the game, rather than merely tying it. Of course, it was Madison Bumgarner who rode off as the legend after his stunning 5-inning, 2-hit relief performance on 2 days' rest earned him MVP honors. And it put his name on everyone's lips nowadays, when starting pitchers can't get out of the 4th inning of a playoff game, causing people to fret, why can't they be more like Mad Bum? But Bumgarner might be a mere footnote to history, were it not for Affolt's clutch pitching that preceded him in Game 7 at Kansas City's Kauffman Stadium. The consummate rubber-armed lefty, Affolt was a crucial cog on all 3 Giants championship clubs. On this night, he'd inherit a mess from Tim Hudson, who in the 13th and final playoff start of his career, would record just 5 outs. Affolt got out of a 2-on-2-out jam in the bottom of the 2nd, and then spent the next 2 innings deftly navigating the Royals' lineup of relentless grinders. He induced ground ball double plays from Eric Hosmer in the 3rd and Salvador Perez in the 4th, and handed a 3-2 lead to Bumgarner in the 5th. Mad Bum famously took it from there. But Affolt's outing was typical for a decade-long career in which he appeared in 33 playoff games and added to his team's win probability in 31 of them. Honest question, does anyone remember Game 7 of the 2011 World Series? Following the baseball hallucination that was Game 6 between the St. Louis Cardinals and Texas Rangers, it's easy to forget the Cardinals needed to win one more game to bring home their 12th championship. Thanks to a fortuitous rainout, Tony La Russa could start Carpenter on 3 days' rest. And while Freese added to his World Series MVP resume with a game-tying 2-run double in Game 7, it's easy to overlook Carpenter's role. He'd pitched them here in the first place, with a stunning complete game performance against the vaunted Philadelphia Phillies in Game 5 of the NL Division Series, and was in line to win World Series Game 5 until La Russa's bullpen mismanagement cost him a win. Beating the Rangers was no small task. Manager Ron Washington delivered an epic profane speech before Game 7 to ensure there was no hangover from their Game 6 collapse. Those Rangers ranked in the top 3 in the major leagues in runs, ops and home runs, and boppers like Ian Kinsler, Josh Hamilton, Adrian Beltre, Nelson Cruz and Mike Napoli were at or near the peak of their careers. And after they took a 2-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning, Freese's heroics might have been forgotten had the Rangers made off with the trophy. But Carpenter ensured that was all they'd get. He'd toss up zeros over the next 5 innings as the game slowly tilted in the Cardinals' favor. Carpenter's final postseason line, 4-0, a 3.25 ERA and 2 series clinching starts. It was John Lackey who history will record as the Texas Cowboy who started Game 7 on 3 days rest and quieted a Barry Bonds-led San Francisco Giants lineup for 5 innings of one-run ball. It's Anderson, however, who unloaded the